And welcome to the Right People You Need to Meet, a podcast. My name is Tumu Siime, and today I'm with the heavyweight puncher. I don't know. There are weights. There's featherweight, welterweight, stuff like that. But this is now heavyweight boxing. I'm with a very accomplished lady, a person that I've known for, I don't know, over a decade now. I don't know. Before even I just dive into the real way of introducing her to the public, I need to first say how I know her. I know her as a scholar. I know her as a nurturer. I know her as a mentor. I know her as a woman of steel who doesn't break no matter what you throw at her. I know her as a spiritual guide, and I know her as a person that is passionate about people recognizing their full potential. She also holds a doctorate in business administration, an MBA in social entrepreneurship from Luxembourg Institute, Social Enterprise, Switzerland. Switzerland. As well as a master's degree in human resource management from Makerere University. She's an author of 2 books. We have J.K. Rowling in the making. She has the mentorship advantage from 2024 that is just out, and then she also has the mentored total mindset takeover 2020. I have a copy of that. She gave me a copy of that.
Really?
Yeah, you have to sign it today before you. She's also a strategic and innovative leader with over 15 years of experience in human resources, leadership development, and organizational transformation. She is the founder of Tabita Initiative Africa, and she has mentored and facilitated across several institutions like Siime Uganda, Uganda Prisons, Forum for Women in Democracy, Bugema University, Uganda Railways, Unilever Uganda. Now, if we're going to say all the places that Dorcus has mentored in, the podcast will be over. Okay? And on top of that, she just brands herself as a leadership and employability trainer, HR specialist, and founder and CEO of Tabita Initiative Africa. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Conan.
I have also forgotten to say that she is a pastor right now with Worship Harvest. So please, if you stay anywhere near Mawanda Road, if you see the branch of Worship Harvest that is there, you just can go there. We have Pastor Dorcus. She's always pastoring with her lovely husband, Mr. Lama, Emmanuel, who is not around.
Who is now Pastor Lama?
Pastor Lama. So we are really, really, I don't know, just the introduction alone really shows how much of a privilege it is for us to actually host you. How are you? How have you been?
I've been well.
Yeah.
It's so good to be here.
Oh.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I am worried when people read so much about me.
Yeah.
When people are trying to profile me.
Yeah.
Because I'm someone who hasn't stopped studying since I entered school.
I have never known how you do that. I think you're really a passionate scholar. And I actually got that off from you. Even me right now.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, at any one moment, I'm either enrolled for a certification or a different course. And it has helped me so much.
Because
and I got that from
when you stop learning, that's the point where you die.
Yeah.
You have to keep learning. There is always something new.
Yeah.
For example, we are in an era of AI.
Yeah.
5 years ago, AI was somewhere. It wasn't. We think it wasn't in Uganda. We think it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So there is always something new to learn, and for me, that has been my journey.
Okay.
And I'm glad that I'm here.
Oh, wow, that's nice to have you. So we should just dive right into it today. The reason why we wanted, I was thinking of a person that can talk about a mindset change.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't think of any other name better than you, because one of the problems that we have right now is that a lot of young people are finding it difficult to understand how to troubleshoot themselves.
Yeah.
Because they find themselves stuck in situations, but they don't know how much of that situation is coming from their own contribution.
Yeah.
They don't know what part of them is responsible for their own suffering. So what they do, we have a deflecting culture and a zero accountability culture.
Yeah.
A person is there, they're suffering, they say they can't make ends meet, they say they can't do this, they can't do that. Now, this is not to say that even when you do the things the right way, it doesn't need a little bit of time. It can take time for things to align.
That's also a mindset.
That's also a mindset, by the way, to understand that. That's also a mindset to understand that. But even more so, to be totally devoid of any understanding of your own contribution in how your life shapes up and what you need to do. I find that is really, 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 really something that is ruining a lot of young people. For you, what do you think about that? Why do you think young people right now, they just have a mentality of, they lack accountability?
Thank you so much, Conan. They lack accountability because we haven't set up systems for them. I'll give you an example. I love telling stories. So I think about 2 weeks ago, my 14-year-old graduated from Moriah mentorship.
Wow.
Now, as a parent, I have to be intentional to set up the accountability systems for my child. Because if you don't start it from the beginning, it's very hard for you to tell a child to try and put accountability systems in place when they are 20, when they are 30. Some of us, why we've struggled in life and we are taking so long to get to what people call success is because we did not have that background set for us. We are trying to discover who we are at this age. But if you ask my son who is 14 today, he will tell you who he wants to be. So it has to start from parenting, but it also has to start from the environments where we are putting our children, where we are putting our young people, because the environments shape us.
That's a very key thing.
They define us.
People need to put a pin. What is your structure for parenting? Or are you just going to just push out kids so that you continue this generational suffering?
And it is not just the parenting. Even at the workplaces, what systems have we put in place for us to mentor young people? Because you want results, yes. But you see, I've just finished campus. This is a week of graduation. Thank God, many are being churned out. But when they come to you, what value do you add to these people? How are you going to mentor them to become better versions of themselves? So we have to set up systems that are going to help young people. The world has changed, Conan. It's no longer what we were used to. There is so much that can influence people on a daily basis. You wake up, there is something new. You wake up, there is someone trending. And then you ask why they are trending. You can't tell why they are trending.
Fame for fame's sake.
It's just for the sake.
Yeah.
You don't want your child to learn their behaviors, but that's why they are trending. So a lot has changed, that we must set systems just from parenting at our workplaces, in church settings. I think for us at Worship Harvest, Apostle is always teaching us. He will always teach young people. He's always teaching the marriage, because even marriages, they have changed. People want to live like they are married the way we see things in the movies.
They are both like finished projects and everything is perfect.
Yeah, but you forget that in the movie, there is work being done to make sure you look a certain way, makeup is right on point, the hips are well enhanced. Now, that thing can't happen in life. So the systems have to be set to create that accountability that we are looking for, to set the right mindsets that we are looking for.
Who sets this system?
All of us.
All of us.
All of us. I'll give you an example. You are in media. You as let's say a radio host, why would you promote a topic that you know is not going to build society? If you're the owner of the television, that TV station, why are you promoting programs that you know are not going to add value to anyone? But because you want money, you actually go ahead and you have the programs, but you know that these programs are not adding value. Instead, they are taking
value away.
I think I've shared with you before.
Yeah.
I cut off TV in my house when my firstborn was 4 years. People thought I was radical.
And now they're seeing it.
But now, I look at... Did I tell you my son authored a book at 11 years?
Wow.
Now, other people's children are on cartoons. You can't find my children on cartoons. They will be on Chosen. they'll be watching Superbook, they'll be watching things that add value. That is what is setting their mindset.
I actually learned that from you. And also I got my daughter to start working.
Yeah.
I learned that from you.
You have to be intentional about everything. We are not going to transform our societies by just sitting and waiting for government to yambe. No, there is no government. We are the government. You are the government.
We are. Why is that we lack this accountability, and we believe that our set of problems will be solved by an external factor? Why do I say that? If it's a young man, he thinks that he's waiting for freebies. They are on Twitter begging. If it's a young girl, she believes she's going to meet the Prince of Qatar. If it's a parent,
she's beautiful.
Because she's beautiful, she deserves the best. She knows her value.
Even me, I used to be very beautiful. But you know, beauty cannot sustain it.
Exactly.
It can't.
If it comes to parents in Uganda, parents parents these days, they call their children for money more than the government calls for taxes. So it's like, why is it people can't just sit down and ask themselves, what if I'm able-bodied, I can learn a skill and make money? Why is that so hard for us these days?
And these days, by the way, learning is so cheap.
It's free.
We paid for degrees. I reached the point and I was wondering, why did I go to school? Do you know you can get a degree just by being on YouTube? And you will learn the whole computer science on YouTube. But yet, we are wasting time in those other things that are not adding value to us. But why is it the case? It's because the distractions are too many.
The distractions on
the comparisons are too many. We have put success to be, we redefine success. But you see, people forget that your success is not my success. I've been married. Hey, I'm making 15 years. On Thursday. Now, me, that is success. There are people who have been married for 1 month and they said, I can't handle marriage. So people have put a certain definition on success that they think you can be successful just like your neighbor is. You want to become successful like your neighbor. But success is different for individuals. Now, when you put success in that box, that's where people make mistakes. You've seen Conan with a car, you want a car. But who says, I must drive a car? It's very important. I need a car. I want a car. I want a car, you people. I want a car. But you see, if I'm going to sell my body to get that car, then I shouldn't get the car.
Exactly.
So the distractions, the lies, the comparisons, you wanting to be like so and so. I think when we were discussing before the show, we were talking about the fact that people will look at you, you're successful, you have studied, you own this and that. No one ever pauses to ask you, how did you achieve this? And that's why you will find that people are stealing, people are corrupt, people are doing even witchcraft, by the way.
People are doing whatever they can.
To get to that, what they are calling success. But no one is pausing to ask themselves, how did she get here? How did he get here?
They just want to copy. They just want to fake it.
Yes.
To manufacture it, a superficial form of success.
You can't buy that success in a supermarket.
Let me ask a question on that thing you've said of buying success in a supermarket. What brought this? What brought people think? Because when we were younger, we used to care about a process that makes us successful. What made people switch from that to this level whereby they want their success to just be a digital procurer on social media? You go to their Instagram. By the way, these days people go to Instagram and they delete those old pictures. Because you know when you join, because when you join social media, usually your earliest photos, they show you in your natural habitat. Now you grow and you eat at Java.
The color of
the color has changed. A lot of how you look like, even when it's not how it's fake, then a person goes through a cleaning of their entire profile to show this picture. So why? To who? For what? What went wrong for us to reach there?
It's such a hard question. But again, it's just that it's not a hard question, but it's a hard place that we find ourselves in. Because, again, it's about comparison. You tell me why God, in his own wisdom, created me dark.
Yeah.
I wake up one day and I say, I want to be brown. And I go get injections now. No offense, guys. No offense at all, at all. But then you ask yourself, why am I going through that process of changing who God created me to be? Because the Bible says we were created in his own image.
Where they say that that's what society wants. The girls will tell you that's what men want. Is that so? How do they transition from that mindset?
So why do you want to change who God created you to be? Now, when you change and move from the original you, number one, there are consequences. I think there is a joke that Apostle usually gives that, you see, God created Conan dark or brown. So he will send a package for Conan who is dark, not brown. So if the angels come distributing the packages and they arrive at your door and you open that door to pick the package and the Conan that comes out is brown, not dark, do you think you're going to receive that package?
No.
You can't. Why? Because you have changed. Now people think that change is for the best. No, it's not. Maintain your image. Look nice. Be okay with who you are. Because that's the person that is going to appeal. You see, people make assumptions that men want brown chicks.
Yeah.
I've met men who don't want brown chicks.
Not even that. Every weekend we see people of every complexion, of every skin color, of every size get married.
Yes.
Get partners.
Yes.
So what exactly next?
Of every size.
Of every size.
Please emphasize.
Of every size, of every age, of everything. Why do people believe that for them, they need to only look like a particular internet personality for them to actually get something?
Because the internet has made it look like specific sizes are okay. Others are not okay. That's why you'll find that there are girls who will go. And people, if they do not be mad at me, no. I want you to be comfortable with who you are, but I don't want you to go that extra mile where you find you have to go to hospital for them to cut off the skin. You see this stomach I have? I have given birth to 3 children. So I cannot think I am going to ever look like a Makerere student who has just graduated today.
And you shouldn't, it wouldn't benefit you right now.
Because there has to be a price for my giving back to 3 children. So for me, once we get from that angle where people appreciate who they are, and then we stop being influenced by what we see on the internet. By the way, many times the things we see on the internet, those people we call hot. If you were to get a toothpick and do this and do this and do this and do this,
they go back to default settings.
There was a clip I saw. There was a clip I saw recently, and this chick was interviewing people on the street and said, men and women, what do you think is more beautiful or handsome or? And the guy said, of course, men. They are beautiful. They are handsome. Why? The man had a bottle of water in his hands, washed his face, and gave the girl to wash her face.
Oh, wow. It's like, let's see.
But when you meet this girl with 5 layers of makeup, and you meet another one like us, for us, we are known as villagers. Why? Because we don't carry layers of makeup.
Yeah.
We are looked at as we are traditional. But guess what? What happens when you enter your house where you're going to meet a man on the streets and then the following day you have to wake up
and you have
without
to shower.
the makeup.
And you have to out with the makeup.
And you have to shower.
Yeah. Now
So are you being real? So before you know it, number one, we are talking about making money. The mindset. You're spending all your money on the outward thing. But then what about the inside? That's why people meet beautiful girls and no offense to beautiful girls, lastly, I also have a beautiful daughter. You meet beautiful girls, they take them, and 2 months down the road, they are divorcing. Why? Because the heart is different from the outside.
Someone actually said something that really caught me off guard. Someone, I don't know, you can help us. Someone said that we are living in a culture right now where beautiful girls are some of the most lonely people. And sometimes they're some of the most, they're the ones who have a high level of relationship failure. And the person that was trying to explain it and is saying that it comes from some of their friends telling them, me, if I looked like you, oh, he doesn't have a 500 million shilling car. I don't come. Me, it's like me, even me, see, I have standards. What about you? And so they buy into that. And then maybe it's good, maybe it's not good. I do not know. And then what happens is that nobody has said that if you're beautiful or if you're good looking, we're not trying to hate on you if you want the most successful person you can get. I think that's natural. But then sometimes people can forget what you just said of the inner character. Who does a person stay with when they're with you?
Yeah.
And then before you know it, they're back on the streets. Yeah.
So the thing about beauty, and beauty is a hard thing. That's what I can say. And for me, I think the earlier we get to understand that bit, the better. We need to stop living on Instagram.
We need to know that
called
Instagram, TikTok.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, people. I think right now the virtual world is what people think is real.
Yes.
And the real world, people think it's fake.
So when you talk about loneliness, I will have, for example, my ex, I think I have so many followers. But let me tell you, I have a location. I was posting on my status. I said, if 10% of my friends on Facebook and TikTok and LinkedIn and those other channels, X, would come to my chat, I will be in thousands.
Exactly.
But guess what? That's not the reality.
Okay.
Social media people, we are pseudo almost. We don't exist.
Yeah.
We are good high. Now, the loneliness hits. When you go back home, everyone is sending you a hi. People are commenting on your things. You're feeling a certain way. You feel like you have arrived. You put a certain photo and you will have 1,000 likes. Guess what? When you go home, reality hits. You realize that you can have a phone, a very nice phone, iPhone. Which one is the latest?
I have even no idea.
Oh, so iPhone what?
17.
So you have an iPhone 17, but for the whole day, iPhone, mine is what, I don't know. For the full day, no one has called you. Loneliness. Why? Because you assume that people on X should translate to real life, which is not true. Now, when it comes to real life, Conan, I think you have to put in work. Conan, we have stayed in touch, I think, for years.
Yeah.
It costs us. It costs us that message. It costs us checking in, visiting, calling a friend, honoring and celebrating my friends. My friends are my witnesses. I love celebrating my friends. And not just by putting them on the status. No, with action, with substance. Now, if you're going to just depend on likes on social media, I can assure you, you're going to be the most lonely person you've ever seen in the world.
Someone told me that some people don't even know the names of their friends. They know them by their handles.
Yes.
You know your friend and your friend, you call them Kampala Boss. Because that's what his Twitter handle says.
And that's how you save them on the phone.
You save on the phone. And you talked with Kampala Boss for 4 years and you don't even know how he looks like or what they do.
So that relationship, I've watched my father and he purposes to introduce to us his friends. Now, the relationships on social media, we cannot pass them on to our children.
Yeah.
We cannot. So that's what creates that so much void, the loneliness, the sadness.
Yeah.
You even post on your ex, the cannula. I am sick, I'm not feeling well. And you go home and no one calls.
No one.
That's why people are committing suicide.
Yeah.
You post, it's my birthday, what? And yes, you will receive 1,000 messages and no gift. Loneliness. The reality hits
Some
different.
people buy gifts and gift themselves.
Yes.
And they say, oh, kumbe, somebody else. So now this is the thing. Now all these things that you're saying, they speak to someone having a belief system.
Yeah.
Now that belief system has become so tricky for young people because young people right now are growing up at a time where individual liberty is at an all-time high. The rebellion is insane. Young people, you can't tell them. There's a video that has been trending on TikTok of a boy saying that he's gumite. I don't know if you have watched it. But there's a young boy, you can't wash those pans and all that stuff. And people even will come and get a laughing at it like it's normal, right? So the rebellion is so much in that young people will even choose a path that is self-destructive, keeping that just to satisfy this rebellious, you call it a spirit of defiance, just to satisfy it. What can you tell a young person? How do they choose a belief system? And why is it so important to have something that you place above you to keep you in check? What would you address that? How would you address that? What do you speak to that?
I want to start from the backgrounds where they come from, parenting.
Yeah.
In my house.
Well, some don't come from good parenting.
Wherever you come from, really. Because I want to believe that someone is being raised by someone. It can even be a neighbor. So this calls for a sense of responsibility to everyone who is raising a child or who is helping a child, who is supporting someone. So if you're raising someone, the first starting point is for you to be intentional about raising them right. You don't want them to grow up and then you're to blame for life. I'll give you an example. So about 2 years ago, I realized that my children were becoming a certain way, where, of course, you have a house manager, they do all the work, they cook, they clean the house, and my children would wake up and even leave the beds. I said, in whose house?
Oh, yeah.
You're joking. So for the last almost 2 years, I've not had a house manager. My 14-year-old, I have a 14-year-old, I have a 12-year-old, I have a 7-year-old. Right now, even the older kids are in boarding, but still, the 7-year-old, I tell him, wake up, shower yourself, do this, do this.
Shift.
Now, the values, Conan, I think I've shared before that some of the reasons we survived in Kampala as people who had come from the villages were the values we carried from our parents.
So there's a parenting crisis right now.
Yes.
You meet people and you can tell this person was not parented.
And it has worsened because we have delegated parenting in different ways.
That's
to
powerful.
TV.
That's powerful.
To house helps.
To schools.
And by the way, I want you to know that I am not perfect at this parenting game. No. I think I've even shared before that if it wasn't for my husband, I don't know if I would manage that. But the thing is that as parents, we have to be intentional. So that's why for me, I have to create an environment where my kids can learn different things. If I can't teach them, I will send them to Dr. Eunice Adubango, who runs Moriah Mentorship every year, to help them, to teach them. If I can't talk about certain topics, I'll send them to a friend who can actually talk about certain topics. If I can't do certain things, I will even call the dorm mother. I'm like, by the way, there is something she hasn't done. Help me with it. Now, so that is like the first level we have to deal with. But now the other level we have to deal with is that I want the young people to ask themselves, the behaviors they are having, is it giving them success? So it's that thing of realizing, this thing is not helping me. Can I become a better version of myself? And there are things to do to become a better version of yourself. You have to be a learner. You have to be obedient. You have to respect authorities. Because if no one can control you, if no one can help you,
if there's nothing above you,
if no one is going to correct you, let me tell you, even my husband, I know if I call Pastor Steve, who is our spiritual father, he will know. Don't call Pastor Steve. It's okay, we will sort
Let's
it out.
fix this.
Well, and he's an old man.
Someone about that is something that I was speaking to, like about I'm right now at the age, I'm not yet married, But
you need to get that.
yeah, that's
I should have said that.
That's something I do serious. I also maybe we have the Captisol Hub. We're employing people, and then also the right now how I'm making networks and reaching out to people. I'm intentional about it. And one of the things that I've always been telling people is that if someone does not have anybody they respect or anything they put about themselves, what makes you think they will listen to them?
They can't.
If a person can't listen to their father, can't listen to their mother, can't listen to their sibling, can't listen to any authority in society, can't watch Taru. So what will be the one thing that you can base on and say we can solve a conflict? Because this is a person who apparently is above everything else in life.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why that's one of the things that people are taking for granted. Which authority does this person?
Who guides
you? What do they put? We have reached a point whereby people don't even they put themselves above their children.
Yeah.
Like a person will say, sure, I would rather go for a trip than take my child to a better school or something like that. Like that rebellion, that sense of I can't heed any authority goes on. So the two things I wanted you to make clear is first, what's the importance of finding a person that is respectful of authority? And also, what are these authorities? So that as we're trying to connect with each other, as we're trying to polish each other, we know which area we need to learn from and which people we can connect with. Not that we are shining others who don't respect it, but maybe we can also panobit them or give them advice. Which authorities are these? And how can we panobit ourselves to obedience?
So I'm going to go the spiritual way.
That's okay. That's very okay.
So the authorities, one of the things I've learned is there is a scripture in the Bible. Honor your father and your mother, and you will live long. I think I've paraphrased. But for us to live long, for us to have a better life, for us to prosper, we are going to have to honor our parents. And the thing about honoring our parents, and the scripture says, honor your father and mother. Because it's very easy to honor our mothers. They gave back to us. They love us. They breastfed us. Now, when it comes to fathers, Chigai gave birth and disappeared. Now, the Bible doesn't say, honor your good father, who paid school fees, who did this and that, who took care of you. No, honor your father and mother.
Why do you think what was the reason because I think it's intentional. Why do you think it's a reason that honor didn't attach it to terms and conditions?
Because human beings are human beings. A father will mess up. A mother will mess up. Let me give a story. I love stories. So I think I had spent I had issues with my father growing up, really, for so many reasons. And so growing up, when I finished campus, I'm like, finally, that codifier thing. I can be my own boss. Now, I went on with life. So many years down the road, I was not going home. I was not calling my father. I was not checking on him. And life got stuck. So one day, Apostle is teaching us and gives an instruction: go visit your parents, take them some things, go honor them. I said, Apostle has said, I need to go and honor. I went, you guys. I think that time I had resigned from New Vision and I had spent 3 years without like a clear job. Went to different organizations, did some trainings here and there, but things were really tight. So I went to my father. I called him. I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm coming home. Please note, I had not slept home for about 7 to 10 years, maybe. Like sleeping home, that a child has come. So I called my father. I'm like, oh, I'm coming and I'm sleeping home. So I reached home. He has organized. They have cut chicken. We talked like almost till morning. He prayed for me. I came. When I came back, I think like 2 weeks later, I received 3 job offers. Why am I sharing that story? Our blessings are with our parents. And you see, if we are 2 cups like this, and I want to be equal to my father, equal to my mother, I cannot receive their blessing if we are equal. It is when I am down, that they can power their blessings in me. If I am at the same level, I think I have made it in life. I have a degree, they don't have it. That mindset of thinking I'm educated, you're not. Who are you to talk to me? Let me tell you, you will be with your degrees. You will be stuck in life. You will stay like that as long as you don't have the blessing of your parents. That's why we even see rich people who don't honor their parents struggle. You will make money, disappear. Make money, disappear. You buy a new car, gets an accident.
I think that rage that you be holding introduces a lot of chaos in your life.
Yes, because they are the blessers.
They are the blessers. You're not
so that's the first category we must honor. And you might be thinking that my father died, my mother died. No, there is someone in the place of a father. There is someone in the place of a mother. That is the person to bless you. The authorities in your life. So that's the first category. Of course, for those who are married and they are listening to us, your spouse. In marriage, you will fight about so many things. Parenting, money is not money, so many issues. But you see, at the end of the day, the husband is the blesser and the protector and the security of the home.
Why is that statement these days so controversial?
I have no idea. Men have to wake up. But that is the principle. It's the biblical principle. I'm sure even Muslims will have the same principle that men are the blessers of their families. That's why if a father is going to die, they will ask, what did he say? What did he say? They want to know the last words. Who did he bless? What did he leave? So and so. Why? Because he is. So a man in a home is the blesser. It doesn't matter. I know. It doesn't matter. I have more degrees than my husband. Does that stop him from being a blesser of our house?
It does.
No. So it's not about the books I've read.
You know, when you say that, you say that because you have a refined mind. I assure you, there's someone who's listening to this and they're about to explode. I know people. I know social media. There's someone who's listening to you, and if they could reach through the phone and punch you, they probably would.
Yeah, but
why?
Don't punch me. But the thing is, take it or leave it. Let me tell you, in 15 years of marriage, it hasn't been a bed of roses, like they say. But I can assure you, it takes an understanding. It takes renewing of your mind, of understanding that everything we are going to build takes time. So most time, people want to give up after year 1. And truthfully, I've wanted to give up. Year 3, I'm like, this thing, I am done.
It's not work.
5 years, you're like, I am done. 10 years, you're like, now here, I am 15 years. So the impatience is what usually kills people. You assume you're going to get married, and all of a sudden,
instant gratification. Everything is fast.
The man should be like this. He should be talking to me like this. Open the door like this. Celebrate my birthday. Wait, this week is my anniversary. If my husband remembers, I thank God. But he will remember. Now that I've said it, but he will watch this later maybe. But the thing is, we have to be patient, especially in these relationships. That things are not just built in one day. It's also a mindset. You wake up, you want to own a house. But you forget that for someone to build a house of 1 billion, it takes years. It takes time. Yeah, miracles happen, by the way. Someone can give you a car. Someone can give you a house. You can be blessed in a certain way. You can get one big deal that can change your life forever. But the fact is, the rest of the people, we have to work hard. So that category of spouse, it's very important. The other category, when it comes to young people, that they have to honor is their employers. If someone is giving you food, because if someone is paying my salary, that enables me to pay food, that enables me to pay for rent, enables me to go to work, enables me to look nice, why am I disrespecting them? I've heard statements where young people say, I even know more than they know. Yes, you know more than you know.
That's why
I hired you.
That was the order of that New Vision. Remember when it was New Vision?
Yes.
And everybody would just be every day shouting at the managers of departments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's why they hired you. Guess what? If I could do everything by myself, I wouldn't need you. So how come you don't want to come and be obedient and honor this boss? Because this boss, guess what? They have the key to your next level. Conan, your boss, your current boss, has a key to your next level. Why? They sit in meetings where I don't go. So they are going to be in a room where they'll say, oh, we are looking for someone who is like this and this. And guess what? They'll be like, oh, no. Conan can do it. Conan can do it. So they are able to say your name in rooms that you have no access to. So for you to get to the next level, there is a person who is going to open that room. But if you're not the kind who respects people, who honors people, I can assure you will stay at that level. But as a child, because let me tell you, at home, you're going to mainly send a child who is more obedient to you.
Yeah, that's true.
I have 3 children. Yeah. You will find let me not say any name because my children might watch this. But you will find that if you are in a home, you're a father, you're going to give more work to children who are obedient to you. Then the one who is not obedient, you're like, oh, you're what, yo? It's the same thing at the workplace.
Yeah. And that stands growth.
Yeah. At the workplace, you're going to give more assignments to the person who gives you results, to the person who hears your voice, to the person who understands your instructions, who doesn't question your leadership. Now, many of us young people, okay, I'm not young.
You are young.
I'm not young.
Depends on who you're comparing yourself to now.
I'm not young. But for us young people, we want to question like, I am better than you. Just because you earn more money. No, they earn more money because they are there. That's why they are in this season. You wait for your season. So for as long as you do not respect those above you, at the workplace, at home, where even teachers. You know, when I was still, did I, you know that I'm a teacher, right?
Man, I lost count of all the things that you are.
So when I was still in the teaching profession, in class, one of the things I used to tell my learners, I'm like, guys, I have studied more years than you. And the only reason you're in my class is because you want what I have. So you cannot disrespect me. And some of the children I've taught, they are successful people in this country.
Can I give you a story about something about that really always bothers me?
Yeah.
We are in, like I told you, these days education is non-stop. So you're getting a certification, you're studying, and these days it's e-learning or something. And then someone raises their hand and they call a lecturer by their name. You know, like let's say a lecturer is called Martin, and the person says, Martin, about that thing you say, it's like, yo, you know, like, I mean, would it be so difficult for, and then the person, the way they are saying this, you can feel there's this underlying tone of, you are the lecturer, but probably have more money than you.
With the attitude. I pay you. I am the reason
you're working for me. And it always bothers me. And I'm like, why can't you just say, excuse me, lecturer? Like, what's, you know, people think that respect takes something away from them.
No,
and I think that's an insecurity. That's an insecurity because if I'm speaking to you, and I find it, I think that respecting you means I'm weaker. That has nothing to do with you.
Actually, respect gives you more.
Thank you. Yeah. It means that if you're disrespecting somebody, because you think respecting somebody makes you feel weak.
Yeah.
No, you are dealing with the fact that you think you're weak. Nobody has painted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need to deal with it at a personal level.
At a personal level.
And I've seen it in workplaces. There is a client of mine, I think I was in a training, and everyone kept referring to the MD by name. I said, who does that?
MD.
An MD, and you're calling by name? I said, no. So I had to have a conversation. I said, people, we are going to be people who respect everything.
Did some of them block you?
I don't know.
But some of them, the profile pictures can disappear.
I still have them. Yeah. But the thing is, it's a mindset of people thinking they are big, they are independent, they are better, and better. By the better, if you sit in a conversation, you even wonder how better, because the conversation is a social media conversation.
Yeah.
They don't have facts about life, about things, and that alone is a problem. So, respect, honoring people, having values, these things are going to be important for you young people.
Now, Now, this is something now, as we are finishing, as we're almost going for the break, there's this thing that I don't get. Why do young people keep up things that are detrimental to them? Now, what do I mean? Usually, you would think that every person has the ability to self-correct, especially if there is a bad consequence. Usually, you would think that if I go and I show people that I can live in, they call it club. Like, I'm trying to show people that I'm better than them. I'm making bad financial decisions. Probably I'm living in a house I can't afford. Probably I am trying to drive a car which I can't sustain. Probably I am trying to buy clothes and be in fancy places. These things have a disturbing effect to you, because nobody wants to be uncomfortable with a landlord on your neck.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be in a car and it's crashing down, and when it crashes down, you have to pick out your phone and call 100 people because you're stuck with it. Nobody wants to get a phone whereby after buying that phone, you can't buy food for the next how many years? Okay, that's mad.
Or when they steal it, you can't replace it.
When they steal it, they can't replace it. No, you would think these people can make you uncomfortable. But people would rather put up with this discomfort. I know people who, a very good example. Why would someone go? I saw a clip of a person trying to heal from some surgical, whatever. They really look like they're in pain. You know that thing you look at and you even squint, you're like, this looks painful. Why are people doing these things? Why would they put up with the pain of a fake image than embrace the real progress of actual impact and well-thought plans?
Quick success.
Quick success.
Quick. I mean, if I look a certain way, I will attract a certain man.
Oh.
If I do this, I will get this quickly. If I have a car, I'll give you an example. So when I had just started out in consultancy world, people said, you won't get work if you don't have a car.
Yeah, no, I've been told so many lies about that.
So should I go get a loan, buy a car? Because we made those mistakes when we were at New Vision. You find yourself in debt, trying to live a certain life. But you see, the reason, by the people listening to this or watching this, the reason we share is so that you don't make the same stupid, silly mistakes we made. So when we're at New Vision, even you get a loan and you can't even pay it. You struggle.
At New Vision, guys, you would find a person.
Yeah.
He's finding like 100K. Or like 50,000.
Yes,
30,000, because everything has been taken in loans.
Because you're living in an apartment which you shouldn't be living in. You're a single person. Why are you staying in a 3-bedroomed house?
A mansion in Muyenga.
In Muyenga. Why? Have that house, stay in 3 people, share the rent. Because those are things, we've lost that human touch, that we want our space.
Yeah.
We want our space. And you see what that space takes away is that you find you're paying a huge price. You find you want to drive a certain car. I won't name the brands of the cars, but you want to drive a certain car. Why? Because a certain friend drives that same car. Now, why are you looking for that same car? It's a show. It's a show. It's not because, let me tell you, I have a friend who says there is a motor car and a tumbler.
Yeah.
A motor car is when you drive a certain ml.
Maybe, yeah.
And tumbler is when, so at our stage, when you cannot afford, you just need a tumbler.
And that's not bad. There's nothing wrong with that.
So you will have your small car of 13 million and it's a tumbler, you're able to move. You do not need to drive a car, which is going to cost you 200,000 in fuel per day, which you do not earn.
Even a taxi works and people just pretend that Ugandans believe they're too good for taxis and borders. You find a person who is 23, 24, a person at 23 and 24 tells you, how will they see me in a taxi? It's like, who knows you?
Conan, I've just remembered. It's only in Uganda where we define people's success by the means of transport. So I think 2025, 2024, I used to love walking. Even now, but not a lot. So every morning I would walk from my house to work, walk to work. So I was the walk to work girl. So every morning I would get phone calls. Dorcus, are you fine? Are you okay? Why are you walking? Can you imagine people who are living unhealthy lives sitting in the car the whole day, evening, in traffic? They're the ones asking me if I'm okay. So we define success by the way people move. Yes, it is true, by the way. We'll be able to know that you have a lot of money if you drive a certain car. But sometimes, people driving the cars are there crying tears. Now, don't get offended. Drive your car.
They will attack you for that.
I also need a car, by the way. I want that car. But you see, it doesn't help for me to get into debt to get a car, which I can actually save. Those mistakes I told you, I made them. The first time I bought a car, I got a promotion at work and I had a parking slot AM. I don't know if you remember.
I was there. I remember.
I had MM, admin manager. So in my mind, I'm like, there is a fuel card for AM. There is a parking slot for AM. How can I be without a car? And I went and I got money and I bought a car. How did it end? A story for another day. So most times it's a show-off thing, but at the end of the day, if you're watching, if you're listening, I want you to have time when you go back and think. Do you really need that? Do you really want that? At this stage where you are, do you really require it? Do you really have to have your children in a certain school? Or you can actually be where they won't call you, they won't hold the reports, the schools are many in this country. You can take the kids. I've seen in this country, I saw one of the schools charging 950 for uniform.
Oh, wow.
Uniform. 950.
I don't even know if I've spent that on my clothing for the last over how many years?
But guess what? There are other schools where you will pay 100K for uniforms. Yeah. So it's simply that God wakes up every day and gives us choices. You make this, you get this. You make this, you get this. And some of us have gone through those bad choices that we make. We pay the price. And the reason for such podcasts is that we do not have to pay the price because we have already paid it for you.
Let's go for a very short break. We shall be right back with the incredible Dorcus Magoba Lama. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Right People You Need to Meet podcast. My name is Siime. I'm here with the incredible Dorcus Magoba Lama, a lady of, I don't know how many talents, pretty much just about anything that has to do with mentorship and leadership. She is your go-to person. Currently, she's a pastor of Worship Harvest on Mawanda Road. So please, if you are in that area, if you're around that place, go and pray with Dorcus. If she's speaking, if you can just enjoy this and see how much information and wisdom you're getting from this, imagine if you were a member of the church and you had this literally every day. So I think that would be just gold. At a time whereby we need good information to make all the difference in our lives, I think you need to know where you should be, who you should be with, and who you interact with. It's very important for you. So I feel like most of the first part of the podcast, we were telling people, by the way, just something you should know. And this is one of the things that I've come to realize in the period of like interacting with people, because I'm also a person who believes in sharing knowledge, because I feel like everything that has gone right in my life, somebody shared knowledge with me.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we sometimes forget is that, like, you see, like all the things that we have talked about, there's a person who has come short on almost all. So there's a person out there who's watching us. They come from a family where they are not parented. The mother had them. You know, there is a friend of mine who told me that the mother told them that they kept on bothering the mother. The mother was like, I didn't even want to have you.
Hey.
Imagine.
Mother.
Yeah. And this is, you know, you would think that maybe can come from a father, but the mother is also like, she's like a mukoo. So they come from these backgrounds where they're not parented. That's A. B. They just made the mistake of having the wrong friends because they really were not nurtured.
Yeah.
You see, most of us, when you have like me, honestly, I have intentional parents. My mother, okay, our fathers, the way they were intentional was old school. For them, they were intentional. Was provision.
Provide, and that's what makes you.
If you had a house, you had food, and you had feast, for him, he has done his part. But I saw that our mothers were a little bit more intentional. They used to really tell us, watch out, don't do this, don't go this far, don't do this. So I feel like I have an advantage over somebody that didn't have that.
Yeah.
Now, a person who grew up and the only people that shaped them, they're just friends they met. And then these friends that probably they're going to meet, you know, like birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
So you find that if a person has, a person probably has a bad background of a family and they are looking for a void to fill, they find another person like that. So now they are talking these things of using substance abuse. So you find a person has been on these substances and drugs. Now, when they go on these substances and drugs, before you know it, they have maybe 2 children from 2 different partners. You get. Then before you know that, they didn't complete their education. So before you know that, they didn't master any skill. And as we are speaking, a person is looking at you right now, speak, and they feel like you're attacking them. You're not attacking them, but almost everything is, you know what they say, the shoe fits? Almost everything you mention, everything you hint on, the shoe fits. Now,
there is hope.
But that's what they need to know, that there is hope. And the fact that some of the people that you see that you actually admire, you might be surprised. Not long ago, maybe 5 years ago, they were in your shoes.
5 years ago, I was in the shoes. And so I think, about 38. Okay.
Exactly.
Don't count my
age. My age is just...
I was around that age.
It's okay. Yeah. So now, you're speaking to this person right now. What do they need to change about their mindset? How do they start changing their path? What do they need to revise about their personal life? And how do they progress now?
So I'm going to give you really, I've told you, I think many years ago, I was in those shoes. And so I had gone through education, I had gotten a job and a good job really. But because we grew up where no one, you see, when you want to become a doctor, you go through life and you study 5 years at the university. But when we want to understand about marriage, about money, we don't have the school for that. So for me, I had made so many mistakes in life, especially when it came to finances. And I found myself in a fix where you're in debt, you can't provide for your family, you can't keep up with life. A lot was just at stake. So 5 years ago, I think we made a decision and we found ourselves changing church. I got in a new environment that would help me. Not that the environment I was at before was bad, but there comes a time where you need to first sit down and do an assessment and say, where can I improve? What do I need? Who do I need? Which book do I need to read? So for me at that point, I think it was 2019 really, so that's not very far. I joined Worship Harvest through Harvest Institute, and I was doing a leadership course as I waited for work. And that course, I think, started me on a journey of recovery. I was like a drug addict really recovering. So I started learning about finances. I remember attending a mastermind, which usually is run by different coaches, but specifically, I went through a financial mastermind, straightforward financial growth with Apostle Moses Mukisa. And that's the first time anyone was telling me, you can save money. Please note, we had been making money for years, but I had never understood saving, financial discipline, all those things. No one had ever told me about them. So I start getting into that journey of how do I work within my means? How do I spend within my means? Am I perfect? No. But the fact is the journey started. So what am I saying? Number one, wherever you are, there is someone, an individual out there who would be willing to help you. It can be a coach. Because people in Uganda, by the way, Ugandans, it's okay to go for help. And that help is called coaching and mentorship. Now, because we don't get mentored, I'll give you another example. I was struggling with self-confidence. I never used to speak like this. Yeah. I used to think
you always take up my space in the room.
I have to write my English. I'm like, is this the right English? You see, when you've grown up in the village, a lot is going on in your mind when you're speaking. You have to fast. So the self-doubt was so much. Guess who helped me with my self-confidence? Chicken Mussolini.
Oh, I know him. I met him.
Yes, I had to be under him for years. So that area was covered. Now, the other area I was struggling with was finances. So I had to sit under Apostle Moses Mukisa and get mentored how to manage finances. Am I perfect? Not at all. I am still a work in progress. Because remember, by the time he met me, I was in debt. Doing so bad.
Well, you're Simbula.
But today, and by then, of course, I think, 5 years ago, I think I had stopped doing something. But for me, that started me on a new journey. So you need to first ask yourself, what am I struggling with? Because the first place is for you to assess yourself, take ownership, and then after taking ownership, say, this is where I need help.
So two things. First, get a more conducive environment, change the environment.
No, second, before changing environment.
Self-assessment.
First, self-assessment.
Self-assessment.
You need to know I'm struggling with drinking. Alcohol takes all my money. I'm struggling with women. Women take all my money. By the women don't beat me. But you find that a man gets money, the way he gets it, he spends it.
Before paying rent.
He doesn't even pay tithe. The tithe is paid to a woman. So you find they are struggling with different things. Really. Now, first assess and ask yourself, where am I? After saying, where am I? Or what am I struggling with? What kind of help do I need? Because that helps you go to the right mentor or coach.
Find the right person, the right environment.
Yes.
You need to know what
so
you need to fix.
Is now, and the environment is huge. One of the things, for example, Apostle taught us was like, hang out with the eagles. Where are you hanging out in let me not say the name. But where are you hanging out in certain places?
But
because
you can actually say
if
that.
you hang out in that lower category place, those are the people you're going to attract.
Let me clarify that. When we say lower category people think we mean the income bracket.
No.
Let me tell you something. Even if right now I go back to my village, there is a part of my village I will hang in and a part I will not hang in. If you go and you find every youth is busy chewing the cards like a sheep with those leaves in their mouth, what are you doing there? What are you doing with people who every day, every 3 a.m. you get a message, Oliwa, to be an Mchibara? That's the low life we're talking about. Yeah.
So if you hang out with those ones, you will find that you have their behaviors, you spend like them, you drink like them, you sleep even with the same women, by the way.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's where you're hanging out. So abachala so you have to be able to get annoyed at your situation and you say, I am done with this situation. And that's what happened to us. I was like, I am done being broke. I am done being in debt. I am done living like a fool.
Being on the street, just,
And that's when I went for mentorship.
Yeah.
When I started mentorship, Conan, I kid you not, some days we would wake up and I'm like, what are we eating? How are we going to work? How are kids going to school?
Yeah.
But that is no longer there. Yes, I'm still recovering, but that is no longer the case. Why? I allow to go through mentorship
and training.
Number 2, that I want young people and everyone listening to us to do. Put that in English.
Oh, that one should be in capital letters, bold, underlined, highlighted.
So you find young people, they're out there doing nothing. You call them for a gig of 500. They're like, 500? If it's not 1 million, I can't work. Conan, my first job, I was earning 200,000 Uganda shillings. 200K. And I need you to know, I was earning 200K in one school and 200K in another school. And I was teaching English and literature. I was on a border full time like this. Wow. So at the end of the month, I would have like nothing really. But guess what? That opportunity gave me experience, because you wonder where to get experience to put in your CV.
Exactly.
That opportunity gave me experience. It gave me friends. It created new networks. Now, if you have finished campus and you're safer sitting behind your laptop, which your parents bought for you, and you're watching series from morning to morning, that laptop cannot build for you networks. So I want you to wake up right now, get annoyed, get pissed, and say, I am going to look for something to do. I've seen, I love giving an example of my brother. I have a brother, I got him from the village. So I had gone to visit my mother, and he said, my sister, I want to go to Kampala one day. I said, you will come to Kampala, first finish senior 6. When we finished senior 6, I had wanted him to come and do a diploma. So that time of waiting to join campus, he said, let me find something to do. I got him a job at a petrol station. That boy has worked. He owns a house in Kampala, which I don't own.
Wow.
Why? Because for me, I spent all my years at New Vision, drinking, eating the morning. For him, he slept in one-roomed house until he built his house. And by the way, you might think this is 10 years ago. He came to Kampala when we were getting in the lockdown, 2019.
You can subtract the years of the lockdown because there wasn't much going on, really. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The boy, he's like every time I look at him, I want to cry. I'm like, God, man, we wasted. But guess what? You know what happened to him? What changed for him? When he came to Kampala, I sat with him. I mentored him like I mentor other people. I told him, don't make the mistakes I've made. Do not get into debt. Do not get in the business. Like, I mentored him. I mean, for the first, I think 1 year, he was in my house. Wow. When he got a girlfriend and he said, I think I want to marry, he left my house. But guess what? He stays in his own house in Kampala. Dorcus, who has been working for years, because of foolishness and stupidity, thinking we must live a certain way, thinking we must hang out with certain people, thinking we must drink certain drinks, I have nothing.
Chasing validation.
Yeah, I have nothing. And guess what? You get to wake up, you're 40, and nothing.
Young people don't know how age moves by quickly.
So, I mean, if a petrol station can get him to that level, find something we can do. In COVID, I fed my neighbors. Do you know what I was doing in COVID? I think I've shared this story. I used to make chapati and juice. Because by then I didn't have a formal job. I had just resigned from one of my workplaces. And I started making juice. I believe I make the best chapatis in the world, the best juice in the world. I don't do it as a business, but if you come to my home, you will enjoy. So I would make juice and chapati, and it made me a lot of money. Now, you can't tell a campus do chapati and sell.
But let me ask, when did that start happening? When did people who are coming out of university without a job experience want more benefits than us, who have CVs that if we are trying to write, we are choosing what to put and what to leave out.
Yeah.
But I believe
I no longer write CVs because what will I put?
You get. So what makes I think this is a mindset shift that we're talking about. That sort of being willing to learn, being willing to be nurtured. So okay, now it's going to be a very tricky question because now you're a leader.
Before the question, I want to first finish that line.
Okay.
So I want people to learn to start small. Yeah. I want people to not despise humble beginnings. If you're going to grow, you start from that crawling, sit, crawl, walk. You can be an outlier that you will wake up and you have a very powerful job. But most times you start humble. You start with the simple salaries.
Exactly.
And I have one of my mentees. So when I got him internship, and when he was going for internship, I told him, I want you to work like you're paid 10 million. And for 2 years, he has been in that workplace. Now, 2 years. He left, I think, last week after applying in one of the big organizations in the country. And he got a job. One, he works like his life depends on it, whether he's paid or not. So start small, do not despise work, start anywhere. And anywhere, I don't mean go and sell yourself. No,
that's not a job.
I mean the real job. Get a mentor, be a learner, because don't sit and watch series and you think you're growing.
You watch Suits and you're like, I'm like Harvey Specter.
Yeah. Just pick a skill and learn.
Yeah.
Every time you're waiting for a job, be learning the skill. Because it is that skill that will take you to the next level. And of course, be a reader. And I want to say also, I want people to love themselves beyond others.
Okay.
Like you can't want others to love you more than you love yourself.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, this is one thing I've come to realize. Let's say, now this is because I've been battling this thing of, I feel like I don't want to give in to this whole thing of cutting off toxic people all the time. That thing trends a lot. In an effort to look for new environments, cut off toxic people and all that. What is the balance between maintaining a network and just shedding off who is really just refusing and deliberately just refusing to change? Because sometimes the reason I'm saying that, young people, they reach a point in life and for them, their mind is growing. But some of their diehards, some of your day one person, those people that you find that it coincided, you're in the same primary, you're in the same secondary, you never broke, you never broke a communication. Now, you are reaching a point, maybe, especially those ones who are now maybe mid to late 30s, you are growing, you're expanding your mind, you can see the big picture of what can be. But then your best friends, they're the ones who are pulling you back. Because for them, they don't want to open their mind, they are lost in rebellion, they don't do anything. How do you reconcile that? Do you just cut everybody off and set new life? What's that trade-off?
No, you can't cut people off. You have to, that's the word I'm looking for. You have to discern times and seasons. So there is a time, for example, I have my girlfriend, and we love each other. But you see, everyone has taken a different path. This one works with this one is here, this one is here, this one is home, maybe mothering children. Now you find at some point, your conversations are no longer...
They're not in sync like they used to be.
Now, I used to tell people there is a temptation to think they have become bad friends.
I think that phrase is right. Yeah.
They are not bad friends. Their priorities are different. My priorities are different. We are different. What we are chasing is different. Now, if I am chasing pastoring, they are not pastoring the church.
No.
You will find that for me to be a pastor, of which I am a pastor, you'll find that there are things you need to cut off in life. I'll give you an example. If you said, guys, we have a hangout, is that club still there? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which club
Most
is
of those
there.
clubs we know, I don't know.
But like if you say...
There's a new one called, I think, La Parole.
I can't say the name. I don't know. But if you put a hangout, girls' night out, I will not appear.
Yeah.
Why? I am a pastor.
Yeah, I know.
How will they find me in a bar at 3 a.m.?
I'm not a pastor, but you can't get me to those bars.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Now, there is a temptation. If my friends were not understanding, they would say, she's a show-off, she's antisocial.
So now how do you handle that pressure?
You need to just know that people are different in different seasons.
Yeah.
It's not a pressure. You're the one putting yourself on pressure.
People, by the way,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be apologetic of your growth, especially if it's not ill-intended.
I've told you I have girlfriends. They are all on their different ways. So you have to understand that even you're taking a different... I think people get so entitled.
Yeah.
You want people to to be by your side. You want people to be there for you. You want people to hang out with you like it used to be. No, it can no longer.
Can no longer be.
One has 5 children. Another one has 4. Another one has 0. Do you think you're going to be in the same room?
You can't.
Many times we try a hangout. You're like, you will get maybe 3 out of 5.
And even after the 5, most of them want to leave after 1 hour.
Exactly.
They're really honoring the
I need to pick the kids.
I need to pick the child, yeah.
So the conversation will shift. Now, you need to be able to discern the seasons. The people are not toxic. You're not a problem. They are not a problem. Just discern the season.
It's your internal chaos that you need to solve.
And when you discern the season, it takes you back to the stages we are going through. Or finding the right environment you need to be in. Like right now already, you'll find that most of my friends are now pastors. I still have my old friends. What does that look? How does that look like? So you find that I have these friends. Instead of spending an hour with them, you find that now we spend like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But now, because I'm in church planting, church leadership, you will find that now I have more friends who we hang out together in our church things.
For a very long time.
For a long time.
And that's okay.
You understand?
That's okay.
So you have to know that it's the season that's here, where we used to spend a weekend together. I don't have a weekend. I'm a pastor. I have to be at church. I have to sleep early on Saturday for me to wake up and prepare and then go and feed people spiritually. So we are in different seasons. So they are not toxic. I am not toxic. We just need to respect the seasons we are in.
Yeah. We could talk now. I think you should always come because literally a person can't like this is almost 2 hours and just look at all the information. We still have a lot to go through. But I just like the fact that you are passionate about changing people. And I always tell people that, man, in a world whereby everybody is appealing to chaos. Everybody is trying these days, they even call that content rage bait. Literally, people are planning on capitalizing on your rage and your internal disappointments to literally get something from you. And what people don't actually understand, I think it's very important that we say this. A lot of people that are triggering you, it has become a business model.
Yeah.
They don't even believe what they're telling you. They just know that they can work you up.
I saw one who is beating men. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Beating men who are depressing women.
Oh, wow.
That's a business.
That's a business.
Yeah, and she's earning a lot of money.
Oh, wow.
More than any other job.
Wow.
So, yeah.
In a world where, in this capitalistic world, if you're not careful, people will take you for a ride and just lead you in dark places just because you have allowed them. But I think having a person like you here, Pastor Dorcas, is really encouraging. It is really powerful, and it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
What would be your last words to everybody that is watching, especially the young people that we are so passionate about?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. And I want to say to the young people that we are what we believe we are.
Yeah.
We are what we believe we are, really. And for me, the best belief I want to leave with you is that I want you to believe who God created you to be.
Yeah.
That identity. Find your identity in knowing that you were created like that for a purpose, not for anything else. And then now what remains is for you to find that purpose. And it's very easy to find the purpose. You can look for me.
All right.
And I will definitely give you.
You can see her contacts on the screen right now as we are speaking. Please reach out to Dorcas. In case you somehow missed the contacts or anything, just DM us and tell us. We shall put you directly in touch with Dorcas. She's a mentor. She's a leader. She's a pastor, which really embraces all that. That sounds like a repetition.
And people are not used to corporates who are pastors.
Ah, well.
So that Worship Harvest changed that.
Worship Harvest changed that. And I really like what's going on at Worship Harvest. I really like what is happening at Worship Harvest. I really like the fact that, I think we talked about this before we started the podcast. I like the fact that a lot of people are really starting to see spirituality in a new light. Because you have come out, I think, I don't know, maybe you will explain it better. I think there was a time whereby when it came to the spiritual stance even outside of Uganda, we had a problem of maybe some people who were such bad examples that people had started really fearing spirituality. because of these outliers. But I think as we're going around, we're circling back to people seeing spirituality. Like I'll give you an example of how way back people will find that the best hospital is by a church, the best school is by a church. People are starting to see that importance of spiritual leadership and spirituality being at the center of progress. Thank you so much. Please always come. It was nice to have you. Guys, remember to subscribe. Remember to follow. We shall be always having new episodes every week. You can watch it on Tiso Lab, on Real Tumu Siime, and you make sure that you leave a comment, you leave a like. We like when that happens. Let's keep in touch. Until next time, bye-bye.